women, ultimately, we are making the choice to not keep children. However, what are the factors that are leading us up to do this? And you're saying
it's just women.
Is this fact-based or is this your opinion?
Women hold all of reproduction rights in America. Men do not hold any reproductive rights in America. So how is it men's fault?
When a man sees a woman and he accepts the woman as well as her kids, that's not his. That speaks volumes about that man.
Right.
And the unfortunate part about that is that man may not get the respect while he living.
Respect is not a reward, it's a command, and that might make you feel uncomfortable, but stay with me. Ephesians 5 commands husbands to love their wives, but wives, we are not commanded to love our husbands. We're commanded to respect them. Why? Because God knew how he wired us. Women need to feel adored to feel loved, and men need to feel respected to feel loved. So when I'm rolling my eyes at my husband, making passive-aggressive comments, or speaking to him like he's a child, I'm withholding the very thing that he needs from me, and then wondering why he's not showing up the way I want him to. What I learned is when I started respecting my husband on purpose, not because he earned it that day, but because God commanded it, he started living up to my words. When I speak highly of him and to him, that's the version of him I get. And when I follow God's design for marriage, I don't have to beg my husband to love me the way that I need. He does it naturally. So respect him first, watch what changes.
Well, this is kind of the thing that men have been talking about. If you're going to go ahead and be like, don't wait for the man to do what you want him to do. Like, this is what a lot of women say. Well, I'm going to wait for him to be masculine or put me in my feminine, that sort of thing. A man is saying no, especially that quote unquote high value man. Hey, no, just go ahead and be a woman. Go ahead and do what you're supposed to be doing. Stop waiting on me to be the perfect man. You just go ahead and do what you're going to do. You weren't feminine in the first place. If you're waiting on me, oh, I'm just waiting on you to just put me in my feminine and set the tone and this and that. Dump it on the man. No, you go ahead and do what you're supposed to do as a woman. As a woman, do what you're supposed to be doing. You should have learned that already in therapy.
Women only cheat when they have found like a better option, typically. Like they've fallen out of love with a guy, they're falling for a different guy. There's a few things that seem to happen all at the same time. She won't leave her phone up with the screen showing. She'll be very protective of like opening her phone around the guy. The passion will immediately fall off, the nagging will increase. It's a lot easier to spot once a woman has done it. It'll be pretty obvious because
Ethan, don't do this. Not tonight. If we're not in VIP, it's social suicide. People are watching where we sit.
Let them.
Let them? That rope is the whole point. That's where you get noticed. You want to stand at the bar like we couldn't afford it?
Couldn't or wouldn't?
Stop. Look, those girls by the entrance. That table of guys. Even them, they're literally tracking us.
Do you even like them?
Doesn't matter. They decide what's cool.
So we don't like them, but we want their approval.
I want respect. I don't want to feel small.
And you think a table makes you big.
It makes people treat you big. It's $1,000, Ethan. One night, a table, a signal.
If we sit there, do we become better people or just more visible?
Visible is currency.
To who?
To everyone.
Then it's not a table you're buying. It's permission.
Permission for what?
To feel worthy, borrowed from strangers. Paying for status is a confession. I don't trust my value unless it's stamped and roped off.
You're making this deep.
Because it is. My peace of mind isn't for sale for $1,000. I can't control their opinions. I can control my character.
So you're really choosing 2 drinks at the bar?
Yes.
And if they judge?
Then they pay the price of their own minds. I'm not wearing golden handcuffs just to be seen. I chose the bar over the rope because true value doesn't need a velvet rope. And listen, look at me. The world will always offer you a deal. Trade your peace for their approval. The stoic answer is simple. Don't sell what you can't buy back. Let them keep their rope. Keep your mind.
They think it's a better option. They feel as though it's a better option. They feel. That's how they feel. That's why they're in the position, in the situation that they're in right now, because they feel that it's the case. Even though it's wrong. Even though it's wrong. We know because we see modern women online talking about, oh, well, I did this and I did. There's a woman in one of the Reddit forums. Am I the jerk? I think it was. It was a man. He was telling a story. He was a chef. Wife was working. She was at home. She stopped working, stay-at-home mom. Did that for a little while. Then decided she wanted to go back to work. Went back to work. He said, okay, cool. I'll take a step back from my job. I'm still going to do it because that's what I want to do. I love my job. So I'm not going to completely quit. Wife went back to work, started making good money. So she was like, why don't you stay home with the kids? You stop working and I'll do the You be the stay-at-home dad. He said, I ain't gonna quit working completely, but I'll reduce my hours. Okay. So she starts going to work, hanging out with a sequel friend, finds a alpha male. That's why I say she thinks. Starts messing around with this man, starts having an affair with this man, comes up to her husband one day, just confronts him and say, hey, you ain't the man like he is. You ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't yada, yada, yada. Fool around, leaves her husband for this man. Chad, the alpha male, pumps and dumps her, and sends her running on back to the chef, Chef sits up there and says, nah, that's not something that I'm willing to do again. I'm not going to take you back. Well, I thought it was this. I thought it was that. I was feeling as though this. I don't care what you felt. You felt like that was a better option and it wasn't. And you lost your shirt. You lost your shirt in this and you failed. That's why I say they feel. Thinking about another example, kind of the same situation, but I don't know if it was the alpha male. Some years later had passed. She was calling his family trying to get his number because he had actually changed his number. And so she finally got in touch with him, said, hey, I'm not trying to get back with you. I just want to let you know how sorry I am that I said all those things. I did all those things. I thought you wasn't man enough. I thought you wasn't a good husband. And I went on ahead and left you. I should have never done that. This man is doing this to me. He's doing that to me. Ended up the woman unalived herself. Unalived herself. Because that man was putting his hands all over her, all up and through her, just really dogging this woman out. And she couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't take it anymore. So it's when they feel as though, and their feelings be all.
In order to stay with someone optimally over the longest period of time possible, it has to be serious. And for something to be serious, you have to throw everything at it. You know, and you might say, well, love is enough. It's like, that's a very naive view of the world, because there'll be times, because that's kind of like saying, well, as long as we love each other and we're happy, we'll be together. It's like, well, if you're talking 40 years, there's going to be plenty of years in there where you're not happy and you probably don't love each other. So what then? Is it just going to dissolve? Or are you going to say, we're in this, you know, come hell or high water, which is the vow. And hell and high water, they're coming. And then you got to ask yourself, you know, is this the person you want in the boat with you when hell and high water come? And that's not going to be fun, that's for sure. You want to do it alone? Or you think that when everything falls apart around you, you're going to be in a better position to find someone better? I don't think so. And then, you know, you take the marital vow in a religious sense and you do it in front of a community, right? So it signifies commitment. And you need that because, like, you think you can maintain all that commitment on your own? Maybe you can. I doubt it. Generally, people can't, like no one. We need to fortify ourselves in all sorts of ways to get through the things in life that are most difficult.
If your partner can go the entire day without speaking to you, they simply do not want you enough to make an effort.
Nobody on this planet is too busy to send a single text message. People always make time for their priorities. Instead, they leave you in total silence. Yeah. And if you are an overthinker, that silence feels incredibly loud. While they are living their day perfectly fine, you are sitting there tearing yourself apart, wondering what you did wrong. Ignoring you is a calculated choice. Leaving you in the dark is a choice. Stop fighting for a tiny spot in their schedule when you should be the entire reason they check their watch.
Men don't make friends. Men don't have a social circle. Men don't love each other. How come men can't have the same social circles we do? It's because you're in a man's face. It's because you're in a man's space. And you won't leave him alone. That's why. Y'all don't think that men have friends because they're not in front of you. They're not in front of you. Not everybody has to tell all their business on TikTok. Dang.
You don't need closure when the disrespect is clear. Silence is an answer. Distance is an answer. Inconsistency is an answer.
Closure isn't a conversation, Frey. It's clarity. And clarity doesn't come from explanations. It comes from patterns. When someone shows you they don't value your time, your effort, or your presence, believe them the first time. Stop reopening doors just to feel understood. Stop chasing apologies that won't come with change. Sometimes the most powerful closure is choosing not to go back to what already told you who they are. Stop expecting peace from a man building an empire. If you want the ambitious guy, understand this. The house will be dark when he leaves, dark when he gets back. His brain isn't on breakfast, it's 5 years ahead. Calculating moves you won't see until they pay off. Yeah, he might miss a birthday. He'll check his phone at dinner. Not because he doesn't care, because he's hunting. Every hour he's gone, he believes he's building something that'll protect everyone later. You don't get obsession without sacrifice. So decide, do you want comfort or ambition? Because you rarely get both at the same time.
Protect my peace has turned into I don't want to feel anything uncomfortable. Anything that causes discomfort or hear something that you don't like, protect my peace. Normal family and relationship conflicts, protect my peace. Now, basic relationship tension gets called toxic and cutting people off gets called healing. And people are ending relationships because they don't want to feel the discomfort and have no accountability. And they'd rather avoid feeling anything. And that's not protecting your peace. It's using this therapy language to justify walking away from normal human conflict and staying stuck playing the victim who can't handle anything hard in life.
Okay, I am going to say this as gently as I can. But reading that comment, I am getting the distinct impression, no, actually rather complete confirmation, that someone has not the slightest inkling of what war actually is, what it entails, what happens, and has never even been even remotely close to war. The closest they've actually been to it is reading about it in a book or seeing it in a movie. Because comparing those two things, men and women arguing in comment sections and snipping at each other in videos on the internet, is an insult to any person who has ever seen or been anywhere near combat. Because honestly, men and women are not at war. They're having disagreements. Those are two very fundamentally different things. And I highly suggest that anyone that thinks that men and women are currently at war do a little bit more self-reflection and maybe actually learn the definition of terms before using them.
If she remembers this about you, stop overthinking. If she remembers how you like your food or how you take your coffee without asking, she's paying attention when you're not looking. If she checks whether you ate, slept, or made it home safe, that's emotional attachment, not small talk. If she remembers things you mentioned once, weeks ago, your words live rent-free in her mind. If she adjusts how she speaks to protect your feelings, she cares about your emotional state, my brother. If she notices your mood before you say anything, she's emotionally in tune with you. If she does things for you without needing credit, she's emotionally invested in you. If that woman remembers your stress triggers and your comfort zone, she's emotionally bonded with you. When a woman is emotionally invested, you won't need reassurance. Her actions will answer every question you already have.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
What do you think men wish women understood about weight gain, attraction, in intimacy but are too afraid to say?
Well, first of all, we could care less about a lot of the things that women do to alter or improve appearance. An example would be like eyelashes and stuff like that. Men could care less about that. That's for other women. That's women trying to meet the beauty standards set by other women. And I'll speak from like the perspective of a man who knows what he wants and is grounded in who he is, aka has, done some work, albeit not perfect. We don't care about cellulite. We don't care about stretch marks. We don't care about that stuff. Actually, that makes you. That makes this one's mine, right? Those markings are points of pride and individuality and things that we actually like. And I know that there's a lot of the counter to that would be like, well, what about all this heart emojis and heart eyes that you see on the pictures of women with, the surgically altered face and entire body of plastic? That must mean that's what men are attracted to. No, that's what broken men are attracted to. That's what men who want someone for one thing are attracted to. That's part of it. What you harshly criticize your body for, men, your man, your person probably cares less about and probably just loves you for you and loves all of your body and all of its splendor. As far as the fitness piece, I'll just speak from my perspective. What's most important to me, and let's talk about you, we both of us stated early on, we value fitness, we value health, we value keep taking care of ourselves, obviously for the obvious reasons, but also as a responsibility to your partner. And one of the most controversial, shouldn't be controversial, but one of the most controversial takes that you have is it's my responsibility to maintain my health, my fitness for my partner. And a lot of women take offense to that. I think that's beautiful. I think that's very powerful. And I think that's also loving you in the process. I think the highest form of self-love is taking care of your health. And there's no specific size we're talking about here. There's no yes, women's bodies change inevitably through certain stages of life, pregnancy, menopause, any kind of health repercussion that requires a surgical alteration of your body. That stuff's out of control and inevitable. So outside of that, do you value your health? Do you value fitness? And do you live that with your behavior when no one's looking? I think that's what's most important to me. It's not necessarily you have to look a certain way for me to be attracted to you. It's not that at all. And I think most men in a happy marriage would agree, or healthy relationship would agree. It's more so, is this important to you? And do you see this as a responsibility? Do we see this as a mutual responsibility? Because the other comment I'll get is, well, what about men? They have to take care of themselves. Of course they do. It's not one-sided. This goes both ways. I think the most important thing is from a health, longevity, and just valuing oneself standpoint. Do you value your health? Do you value fitness? Do you value bettering yourself in that way? And I think if you are trying and the effort is there and you're supporting one another in that endeavor, that's ideal.
For clarity's sake, does weight gain influence attraction, and at what point?
I think there's a threshold. For sure. I mean, there's justifiable weight gain. This is where it's going to get controversial. There's justifiable weight gain, right? Due to age or circumstances, what have you, that there's leniency on both ways. But when you cease to prioritize and value your health to the extent that you gain 100 pounds, that's in your control, and we can argue what's in your control and what's not till we're blue in the face. But I think we all know deep down what is controllable, what's not, and where we're not. It's just not important to us. Otherwise, we'd be doing it. So I think that at that point, because again, it goes back to, do you value it? And if you allow yourself to get unhealthy to the extent that you're drastically different than when you met as a result of not prioritizing your health, again, not things that are outside of your control, but what is in your control, that's where it's justifiable to step in and say, hey, let's work on this together. How can I support you to be the best version of you, the healthiest version of you? If it's a time thing, how can I give you back some of your time? Maybe I can help with something here. It's you can be very supportive about it, but I do think that is a form of love as well. It is not a form of love to just let your partner's body and health go to shit because you're too afraid to address it. I think that's actually the opposite of loving somebody, because you care more about preserving their feelings in this moment than you do their long-term health and livelihood and quality of life.
And they talk about, that's exactly what they talk about. That has men kind of once again, like I've said in other videos, I start off the relationship only getting maybe 70%. Because you have to, modern women say, oh, well, we start off giving 0%. They've said this, dead serious. We start off giving 0% and the man starts off giving 100%. But then over time, we're expecting, because he put in all that effort, that we start giving 100%. But then when we start giving 100%, now he's giving 75, 50, 25, and then no percent. But it seems like they never really specify when they decided to start giving that 100%. 2 years down the road, 2 years, and this is when y'all have become official. Never mind, y'all had been talking and stuff like that and hanging out for about 3, 4, 5, 6 months. He's taking you on dates. He's trying to do whatever he can to show you that he's serious. And you still letting him do all the stuff. You still letting him initiate everything, plan everything, do all that stuff. So when he starts to say, okay, I've done a lot. Now it's time for you to reciprocate. Why am I now giving 100 and he giving 70? He only giving 70%. Did you ask yourself that question when he was giving 100% and you were giving 0? Self-admittedly, you were giving 0. And this is what men get. This is the type of stuff that men get. They go into a relationship where, like he's talking about, both of them say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And then the woman throughout the dating, they actually start when they get it. Well, let's be official. And she's doing all these things. But then she starts, oh, well, I don't really want to do that. I feel like I don't want to do this, da, 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 da. Okay. So I stopped doing a little bit. And then by the time the man is engaged to you, now you at 80, 70, 80%. He's like, okay, well, man, maybe she's at 70, 80% because we're not married. And she's going to start doing all of that stuff when she gets the full commitment. So engaged. Okay. You know, she's still at 70, 80. She may even drop down to like 65, 70, or maybe 75, 79%. So it's a slight decrease. And then it really decreases around the wedding because everything is about her, you know, right? I'm putting up 30, 40, 50,000 on this. So we get married, we go to the honeymoon and we do all that stuff. And she's still putting out 75. She's still putting out 75. And then she gets a headache. And now she's putting out 60. And then she's on a period. And now she's putting out 50 to 60. And then she's having problems. Her back hurts. She had to work all day. The kids bit her on the ankles. A snake bit her in the behind. A mouse ran across her feet. And now I just don't have time for it today. 0%. And then I get back to it. And, oh, I really need to take care of my husband. He's been so good to me. I'll do something for him tonight. I'll throw on some lingerie. I'll cook him his favorite meal. Great. The meal was great. It's delicious. Now it's time for me to give him something that he's been wanting for 3 months now. And we go in there and and I do my thing, you know, but I'm tired and I'm out of practice. So then 1 or 2 minutes, just hurry up and get it over with. It's been 3 minutes. I'm ready to go to bed. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So it wasn't really even that good. You just kind of lay there and just let things happen to you, and really no passion there, really no spark, really no connection. So it was really like you were an S worker. And so that really wasn't, you think because you let him, get one off, then it was fulfilling for him, but it wasn't, because once again, there was really no connection. I'm trying to connect with my wife as well as feel good. And I haven't had this in 3 months, and, it's over so soon. And I thought we was going to lay here and just kind of have a great time together. And, that night you were at about, I give you about 50%, right? I give you 50%. And then you go right back down for the next 3 months to about 30%. 30%, not really doing a whole lot, not really involved in a whole lot, not trying to be involved in a whole lot. And then you reach a certain age and a certain status in your life, in a certain phase, to where you just come right out and say, I'm at about 15%. And that's what I'm going to be for a while, is at 50%, 15%. Maybe on the holidays, I'll go back up to 50%, but other than that, this is what you get. You paid $50,000 to get 15% of the person that you got a pretty good percentage of before we got married. I paid $50,000 to get 15% of an asset. I get to use 15% of this. I get access to 15% of this. What does 15% look like? A hug. Watching the movie on separate sides of the couch. If that. Might watch it for 20, 30 minutes and be gone. A little peck. A quick peck on the cheek. Maybe breakfast. I cook you breakfast every so often. 15% not really talking, no real emotional connection, no deep conversation, nothing. I paid $50,000 for this prized possession. I love it. Fantastic.
Some people never understand what you bring to the table until they see you at another table. Remember that. They don't ignore you because you're small. They ignore you because you're familiar. Some people will sit across from you every day, hear your ideas, watch your work ethic, feel your loyalty, and still treat you like you're replaceable. Not because you lack value, but because proximity breeds blindness. When you're always there, they stop seeing the sacrifice. They stop noticing the standard. They forget how rare you actually are.
And here's the uncomfortable part. The same voice they brushed off in one room will be called brilliant in another.
The same energy they took for granted will be labeled elite somewhere else. And it's not about revenge. It's not about proving a point. It's about environment.
So if you ever feel unseen, don't shrink. Don't over-explain. Don't beg to be recognized.
Just remember, not everyone is meant to eat at your table. And the moment you stand up, watch how fast they realize the seat was never ordinary.
Okay, I am going to say this as gently as I can. But reading that comment, I am getting the distinct impression, no, actually rather complete confirmation, that someone has not the slightest inkling of what war actually is, what it entails, what happens, and has never even been even remotely close to war. The closest they've actually been to it is reading about it in a book or seeing it in a movie. Because comparing those two things, men and women arguing in comment sections and snipping at each other in videos on the internet, is an insult to any person who has ever seen or been anywhere near combat. Because honestly, men and women are not at war. They're having disagreements. Those are two very fundamentally different things. And I highly suggest that anyone that thinks that men and women are currently at war, do a little bit more self-reflection and maybe actually learn the definition of terms before using them.
Fellas, a woman doesn't treat you how she treats her father. She treats you how her mother treated her father.
You thought the grass was greener on the other side, now your shoes muddy. You left something solid for something that just looked exciting. You left consistency for curiosity. You left peace for attention. And now you standing there like, dang. Because what looks good from afar don't hit the same up close. You traded something real for something temporary, and now you seeing what you lost. Now you feeling the difference. Because you don't appreciate stable until you don't have it. And you don't realize what you had until you walk away from it. That grass wasn't greener. You just stopped taking care of your own side.
But I'm not gonna lie, the sweetest guys I've ever met I didn't like.
Damn.
Tookie just told me, my sister just told me, she was like, it's because you don't like a good guy. I don't think it's that. I just think the good guy isn't my type.
Good men do finish last. And I'm gonna tell you why. When a woman finally meets a good man after being neglected, taken for granted, torn down, you name it, all these bad men, she finally meets a good man. She doesn't understand what she's done to deserve this kind of love. She doesn't know how to receive that love. And when a woman is in that state of mind,
cracker shit, but we're gonna keep going. Gotta stop the cursing. I be tripping though, you know, when you listen at this type of...
she is constantly looking for red flags. And when she finds one, even a small red flag, she will cling to it and mentally check out of the relationship, and the man doesn't even know it.
If you're a man, this is for you. Here's the real difference between a worldly man and a God-fearing man. It ain't money, it ain't looks, it ain't status. It's submission to Christ. It's knowing that his life is not his. A worldly man is led by his desires. Whatever he feels, he follows. Whatever excites him, he chases. Whatever benefits him in the moment, he chooses. That's why he's inconsistent. That's why his word changes. That's why he'll promise you things and still move off impulse, because nobody's checking him. A God-fearing man is different. He moves slower. He thinks before he acts, not because he's scared, but because he answers to something higher than himself. And that's the part people don't like. Worldly men want access without accountability. They want the benefits of leadership without the discipline that comes with it. A God-fearing man understands restraint. He understands that not everything he wants is something he should touch. The Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, meaning wisdom starts when a man realizes he's not his own God. A worldly man makes decisions based on his emotion and lack of reverence. A God-fearing man makes decisions based on alignment with God's word. A worldly man will chase you when it feels good and disappear when it gets hard. A God-fearing man stays consistent because his values don't change with his mood. That's why worldly men call God-fearing men boring and a simp or a square. And God-fearing men call worldly men reckless because the one lives for now and the other one lives with eternity in mind. And here's the part women really need to understand. A man who does not fear God will eventually fear nothing. No consequences, no commitment, and not even hurting you. Because if he does not even answer to God, what makes you think he's going to answer to you? Now let me be clear. This does not mean that a God-fearing man is perfect. It means that he's correctable. The Bible says a wise man accepts correction, but a fool rejects it. That's the difference. A worldly man gets defensive when challenged, and a God-fearing man gets reflective. One protects his ego, and the other protects his character. So if you're a man listening to this, you don't become God-fearing by claiming it. You become God-fearing by letting God check you. Because the fear of God does not limit a man, it stabilizes him. And that's the real difference. And once you see it, you won't unsee it. And remember, God does not miss.
This chick says she ain't embarrassed about nothing.
That who was on here and said that nothing is embarrassing when you hot, she ate, I fear. I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about dating, and I was like, yeah, because I'm single and I date a lot. Like, I go on a lot of dates. And the conversation then led to how I don't have a car. Like, I don't drive at all. I don't have a license. And she was like, oh, you don't think it's like weird when you tell guys like you don't have a car? And I'm like, no. Why would it be weird? She's like, you're not like embarrassed? And I'm like, I quite literally am never embarrassed about anything. I take public transportation. A lot of people on people who take the bus and like that, which I don't understand why, because it's eco-friendly, it's cheap, it's there for a reason, it's pretty reliable. I will take the bus forever. My grandmother never drove. She took the bus. I don't care about stuff like that. And she was like, I just feel like men judge you for stuff like that. And I'm like, I am fine as I am fine as if anything, a man is going to judge himself for not making enough money to buy me a car if he sees me on the bus. Like, I don't have to worry about men having negative connotations with anything that I do. I also don't have a job. I don't work. A man has never brought up the fact that I don't work. He's never had concerns about me not working, because all the men that I date already know I'm fine as and they know that they gotta figure it out to make me happy, knowing I don't drive and I don't have a job. That's just like the realities of it. Like, I don't feel embarrassed about anything, because I'm never feeling like you're gonna look at me and think anything negatively about me. Like, you're just happy that I'm here.
Now, this chick just said an awful lot, but to be honest with you, I ain't mad at her, because there are men out there, men with money who love women like this. Women who depend on them for everything. They don't want that woman to have anything going on. They want that woman to be 100% dependent on them. Now, the thing is, those men are hard to find because they're not everywhere, but those men do exist. And if that's what she's been dealing with, more power to her. She looks like she's pretty young. She might still be in her 20s. And if that's the case, she got a little time before things start to change. I just think it's crazy how some women don't have any shame about their situation. Like, that just didn't bother her at all to come online and tell everybody she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have a car, she doesn't have any plans on getting a job or a car. Like I said, there are men out there who love women like this, and all she can do is cross her fingers and hope she meets one. I will say it's going to be a lot harder to meet that rich man on a bus, so you may struggle with that. But to me and a lot of other men out there, this woman is a walking red flag. And based on how she's talking in this video, there's nothing about her that makes me think she's the type of woman that wants to take care of a man. I'm pretty sure she wants to be taken care of, but I just can't see her taking care of a man. I just can't see that. I could be wrong about that, but good luck to any man who ends up with that. And just know, fellas, there's a lot more of these women walking around. She's just being honest about it up front, which I can appreciate. Anyway, leave your thoughts on the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.
So you're a bum is basically what you're saying. You're a bum. Once again, modern women can get on here online and continue to say, I'm a bum. I don't have a car and I don't have a job. You figure out this is childish behavior. You figure out how you're going to take care of me. Me as a grown woman, you figure it out.
I don't believe people cheat when they're happy. I'm an expert on infidelity now. Like, I've spent a lot of time with the cheated on and a lot of time with the cheaters over the course of a 2-decade career. And I got to tell you, Yang, you spend enough time with either of them. I wish there were good guys and bad guys. There kind of aren't. I've rarely seen people who cheat to hurt the other person. Usually, you're not thinking about the other person, and you should have been. Like, I don't know a lot of people that are like, I'm going to go out and cheat on my partner. Usually what it is they go out and they like the affection of this other person. They like the attention of this other person. And then they cross lines they shouldn't have crossed. And they're not doing it to hurt their partner. They're doing it to make themselves feel good. I don't know how much intention matters. What really matters is how you treat the people that you love.
If we were dating, would it be okay if I moved in with you?
My ex-boyfriend moved in with me because I own a home and he doesn't, so it made sense.
But do you think that's also why he became your ex?
He became my ex for a lot of fucking reasons, but no, I'm not really like that. It's not a big deal. If he provided or helped with things, yeah.
How long were you together?
5 months.
Within that time period, he didn't provide for you or pay the bills?
I felt like his mother. I felt like his mom. I cooked, I cleaned, I paid all the stuff, so he wasn't giving me what I couldn't already give myself.
So you need a man who can add value to your life.
That's what I've been looking for. Yes.
But do you think most men are gonna look at women and go, if she can't provide or pay the bills for me, then I don't want her?
No. To be honest, I feel like some guys like a girl that is more dependent on them. The real men like independent women.
You think you can innocently be friends with someone of the opposite sex? No, watch this.
Meeting my friend Denise for a drink.
Do I know Denise?
Yeah, you know my old girlfriend.
When are you getting together with your gal pal?
Actually, I was just checking on that.
Oh, your Facebook friends.
Sure am. She's one of my 447 friends. Everybody wants a slice.
How long have you two been in touch with each other?
She tracked me down about a year ago. What?
Nothing.
There she is right now. How about we meet at La Rev at 7:30?
That sounds innocent enough. I mean,
You're doing that thing where you say what I want you to say, but your tone seems mean.
let me guess. Denise isn't married.
Recently divorced. What's the big deal?
Phil, you can't be that naive. Women in their 30s on the internet they're like ninjas. They get in their little black outfits and try and sneak their way into your marriage.
That's not Denise. Here, read some of her messages. You're gonna feel silly.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
You can't add the sexy voice. Are you seriously jealous?
I am not jealous at all. I just happen to know women better than you do, and that woman wants a slice.
Just to prove how wrong you are, I'm gonna invite her over here for drinks. Yeah. Good to see you.
Okay.
You're even prettier than the pictures that Phil's always posting. I brought you some lifting intensifier. Not that you need it. It's a limited edition, so.
Thank you.
If it's okay, I think I'm just gonna use the.
Of course.
Okay.
Down the hall, left-hand side.
Thanks.
Okay, she's fantastic. I feel awful. When did I become this horribly cynical person?
I first noticed it 7 years. You're not.
Such an idiot. Is it?
I'll show you.
So how are we gonna do this?
I thought I just went at the door.
I was thinking too. Here is my hotel room key. You can come by whenever you want.
You weren't completely wrong about Denise.
How's that?
She wants me.
This is because of the thing I said about Facebook.
Look what she tried to get me.
Anything I can help with?
No, I can't find my corkscrew.
Oh.
I think somewhere along the line you got the wrong idea.
My head is full of wrong ideas.
Phil, would you mind grabbing us a couple glasses?
You betcha.
Need me to grab anything?
No. This is so long.
It's way more exciting when she's in the room.
No. When did that break?
Why are you wussing out?
I never wussed in.
What about all those things you wrote on Facebook?
Why do people keep adding voices to these things? I didn't mean anything.
You telling me that I wasted a year of my life on this relationship?
What relationship?
How many other women have you led on?
I'm not saying that everyone who's single is this aggressive at breaking up families, although there's some homewreckers out there. Usually what happens is people who stumble into affairs do it on accident. Because they don't have healthy boundaries, they start sharing vulnerable things, and maybe one partner is sharing about their hard divorce, and they build this emotional connection that's much deeper than they ever intended. And before they know it, they start to have romantic feelings for the other person. So this isn't just about waking up one morning and saying, I'd like to have an affair. Let me go find someone to do it with. That's not usually what it is. It's usually letting your guard down and an emotional attachment force that you didn't intend to have happen. So we're not saying that you can never have a friend of the opposite sex, but for Terry and I, the boundary is this. We hang out in groups. I would never go get drinks with someone alone like that, and neither would Terry, because our relationship is more important and we choose to protect it with healthy boundaries.
After I said I would require a deposit to take me on a date to cover my date preparation costs, I'm now working with an app developer to make this a reality. This is actually happening. We are building the app. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this is the best damn dating app you have ever seen, because there is a clear difference here where the woman can set the deposit rate and the man can pay for her date preparation costs. So as a woman, you're going to walk into the date already so happy, and that's going to lead to a better date and a better connection. And that gives the man a better chance of succeeding in courting you.
I don't even know. This is just stupid. At the end of the day, dude, I don't think there should be dating apps. I think the only dating app there should be is to where I can see you, I can hear you. So let me see a little video of you talking, and then I will hit a button and say, I'm interested. Now, if you're interested, you got the message, hit me back. If you're not interested, keep going. Forget about money, forget about frickin' any of that, right? Vet the people, do a background check, make sure it's a safe environment, and then just let people decide who they want to date based on a quick, simple video. Does that exist? There you go. Then there's enough dating apps out there, folks. How about the dating app called Real Life? I want to start a dating app called Real Life. Okay, here's how it works. You take your phone, you turn it off, you go into a place, you walk up to somebody, and you just ask them out like the old days. Works. You can see if they have nice teeth. You can see if they're polite. You can talk to them. It's wonderful. You don't always have to look at something digital just to see.
This is the perfect example of holding framing conversations with women. I gave a night, she said she was busy, I thumbs it up, did nothing else. 10 minutes later, she comes back with high interest. If you keep pandering and you keep giving effort and attention to women that don't give it back and instead throw it in their face, they'll never respect you. The only way to get desire and interest from women is to show that you can walk away and that you don't need them all that much.
So it looked like he said, okay, we should make plans. She said, of course. He said, are you free nights? She was like, yeah, smile face. Thursday night? I'm busy Thursday night. She was expecting him to come back and say, what about Friday? And he didn't. So she was like, are you going to suggest any other nights? This is why a lot of times men have problems with modern women, because they don't communicate. They think they're good at communication. She should have said, I'm busy on Thursday, but maybe we can do Friday. I'm free on Friday. Are you free? Or yeah, we can do Friday. What time? Around 7's good. Okay, 7. Let's get it. But instead, they take this, oh, I want a man to initiate to the next level, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. And they take this mindset into relationships and marriage, and this type of marriage becomes a burden to a man. Because a man has to think for you. He has to do everything for you. He has, I got to pay the bills for her. Like the woman said a minute ago, he's got to figure out how he's going to take care of me. I don't have a car. So since I don't have a car, I probably don't have a driver's license. Because I don't have a driver's license, when he's trying to get money, he's going to have to drive me around here. He's going to have to drive me around there. It's literally a bill. Because he's going to have to make money. He's going to have to be out making money. So now I need somebody to take me somewhere. He can't. Like, if he can't, then I'm going to have to pay for an Uber. And for me, I'm not going to get in an Uber. Right? Well, I thought you said you took public transportation. I did, but now I have a man and he's going to figure it out. Well, where do you actually need to go? You don't have a job. I'm going to shop. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. I'm busy now. Busy spending his money. Oh, well, that's what he wanted. Well, he's got to figure out how to pay for the Ubers. So it's constantly a man trying to figure out how to make your life an entire convenience. I'm in my soft girl era. I'm in my divine feminine era. I'm in my passenger princess era. All code word from these modern women for I'm in my lazy era. I'm in my bum era.
A lady who studies the minds of toxic people said that the overwhelming majority of people that have deceptive and abusive behavioral patterns get fed from what they're doing when they inflict harm on someone else. Like how a healthier person or a non-toxic person feels really good after helping someone else or something like that, that's the same kind of feeling a toxic person gets when they do something harmful to someone else. And a lot of times it doesn't have to do with you as a person. It has to do with them trying to regulate themselves and mass preservation.
But I'm not gonna lie, the sweetest guys I've ever met I didn't like. Damn. Tookie just told me, my sister just told me, she was like, it's because you don't like a good guy. I don't think it's that. I just think the good guy isn't my type. What? I like a good guy though. I like a good guy. She said she thinks it's because we don't like a good guy. I do like.
Like I've always told you guys, it's not the bad boy who usually gets cheated on with the good guy. It's the good guy who gets cheated on with the bad boy. Right? Turbulence, people.
Okay, so I got off the phone with my friend and decided to listen to my podcast. A lot of you guys are not listening. You're only hearing the number, but you're really not listening. And like I said on the podcast, what we find normal, the nighttime girls, might not be normal for you. But for us, it's regular seeing $50,000, $60,000. It is a regular thing for us. Not for you, might be $2,000, $5,000, or maybe you see that type of money in a year. Listen, the tax bracket that I'm on is not for everybody.
We gotta hold people accountable. The receipts we want to see is the simp that's not the simp, I apologize. Is the young man that's paying these particular $50,000s to these ladies. We want the young men to come forward and tell us I got one question. Cause we know that thing not thanking for 50. We know that thing not thanking for 50. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any children, okay? I want to know, what is the young man receiving for that 50? For that 600 a year? I want to know what he receiving. That's all. I just want to know that question. I said, let me ask him. Cause you know, some guys spend big. I want to know what they spending it on. It's just a simple question. Now I want to say this. You got DDG. He say his girl got to make 60 just to date him. And I was wondering, man, I wonder what she worth. And then I asked myself, I've been seeing the young fella do his thing. I know he clearly worth. So I was trying to piece that together. Y'all follow me or you lost?